In this video, we are going to discuss about user interface design in software engineering. So under this topic, we are going to discuss about interface analysis and interface modeling. So first, let us see the user interface design process. User interface design process consists of interface design, interface construction, interface validation, interface analysis and modeling. So first let us start with interface analysis. So here we are going to discuss about end users, tasks, content and environment. So for interface analysis, first we should identify who are all the users going to use the software interface. So first that has to be identified. So the profile of the user has to be created first. And what is their knowledge level, that also has to be known. Then the second one is task. So what are the operations they will be performing with the interface, the users performing operation with the software interface, so that has to be identified. The third one is content. So what are the content they are going to access through the interface, they are going to manipulate or they are going to create or they are going to view or they are going to change, so that has to be identified. And the fourth one is environment, in which environment the interface is going to be used, so that is also need to be identified. So all these four things consist of interface analysis. So next we are going to discuss about user analysis. So here there are so many factors we need to identify. So first we need to check whether the user needs training or not. The user means the people who are going to use the interface of the software, whether they have the training or not. If they don't have the training, whether training is needed or not. So that has to be identified. Then the next one is whether the user who are going to use the interface, whether they are good in typing or not. If they are not good in typing, which user interface they prefer to. So that has to be identified. So to improve their typing speed, whether is there any special training is needed or not, that has to be identified. Then what is the age range of the users who are going to use the interface, that is need to be determined. Then who are all the people going to access, whether more number of male going to use the interface or more number of females going to use it, so that we have to identify. Then the users who are using this software interface, are they getting any specific compensation in terms of salary or not separately, that has to be identified. And the next one is whether the users who are interacting with the interface of the software, whether they will be using the interface during the office hours, during the working time or not. That factor have to be identified. The next one is we need to check whether this user interface for the software, is it part of their work or is it only once in a while they'll be using it, occasionally they'll be using it, that we need to identify. The next one is what is the natural language, the primary spoken language of the users who are going to use the user interface, that we need to identify. So if they are talking different language and if the software interface has to be, if it is going to be developed in different language, so appropriate training has to be developed. The next one is if the user makes any mistake, that we need to identify. The next one is people who are going to use the interface of the software, whether they are experts in the subject matter or not, that we need to identify. The next one is whether the people who are going to use the interface, they know the technology very well or not. So these are all the factors need to be analyzed for user analysis. So now we are going to discuss about task analysis and modeling. So for task analysis, what is the work or the operation going to be performed by using the interface. That is the first point, has to be concentrated. And to perform the interface, what are the tasks and subtasks need to be carried out? That is the second point. So a complex task may be divided into smaller tasks, and one by one they can be carried out. The next one is problem domain objects. So to accomplish a particular task, there may be many number of objects used, and how the objects are interacting with one another through the functions. So that has to be identified. The next one is sequence of work task. So how the workflow is occurring between the task. For example, if we take the exam section, so entering the marks code in each and every question, that will be done by the faculty. Then after that, accumulating the mark, then finding out whether student is pass or fail. So this is part of the exam section software. So in this way, for banking also the sequence of work task will be done. So for any software interface, what are the sequence of work task that has to be identified. Then the next one is hierarchy of task. So if you take the complex task, one major task will be there like a controller. So that will be calling the subtask, and the subtask will be there in the next level. So they will perform their operation and they will return back to the called task or the controller or intermediate task. So in this way the hierarchy of task will be happening. So now let us move on to modeling. So modeling consists of use cases, task elaboration, object elaboration, and workflow analysis. So use cases will mention what all the different user interaction happen, user inputs will be accepted, and the outputs which are generated for the user to view. So that will mention the use cases. The next one is task elaboration. So how the user will interact with the system, and what are the operation happen, how will it happen, what are the functionalities getting carried out, and the intermediate results or final result getting generated. That will describe the task elaboration. The next one is object elaboration. To perform some particular function, many objects can be used, and the objects, how they are interacting with one another through the events. So that will mention the object elaboration. So object consists of classes, and within the classes the members will be there, the parameters and the functionalities will be there within the classes. The next one is workflow analysis. So whether the workflow is sequential or parallel. So some of the operations has to happen one after another, and some of them parallelly can happen. So that will conclude this workflow analysis. So let us see the example for swim lane diagram. So here patient, pharmacist, and physician. These are the three users available in this interface analysis. So here initially patient will go with the prescription paper to the pharmacist. Pharmacist will see whether it is valid one, the date and all he will check. If the date has reached the deadline, then immediately what he'll say, he will not send back the patient because it's a business for him. So what he will do, he will forward the request to the physician. So the physician will check the record which is about the about the patient in the medical records. Then he will see that okay, within a particular duration, no need to check the patient, means what he will do, he'll say that okay, refill is allowed, and that will be sent to the pharmacist through the software itself. Then pharmacist will check for the inventory. If the medicines are available, he will be giving to the patient. For example, the doctor is approving the prescription, okay, the pharmacist can give the medicines to the patient. So in that way, if the pharmacist in his inventory, if the stock is not available, he'll tell that stock is not available, when the patient can come back to get that intimation will be sent. For example, if the physician, if he thinks that okay, the patient has to come for regular checkup, he will send that he has to refill not allowed, so the patient has to come for one more evaluation. So that information will be sent to the pharmacist, and pharmacist immediately he will send the same information to the patient, telling that he will notify the patient that patient has to go for one more evaluation with the physician. For example, if another case, if the physician want alternate medicine can be given for the patient, he will write it and he will send to the pharmacist. If it is, if the alternative medicine is available, he will approve that and he will deliver to the patient. So in this way, the patient, pharmacist and physician communication will happen. So here if we see, that if it is available or not available, in all the cases the prescription have to be fetched back by the patient, and if the patient has to go and check, do the regular checkup with the physician once again, he will be getting the appointment with the physician. So now let us move on to analysis of display content. So when we display the interface content on the user panel or on the user dashboard or window, so how it should be displayed? So the first one is geographic locations. So how the objects or buttons or any animation or any video, where it has to be placed, any image where it has to be placed, so that has to be analyzed properly. It should match with the real time, in real time how the user will be seeing the objects in the real time if we go to the actual environment. In the same way, in the software interface also, the objects placement should be geographically, they have to be located similar to the real time data. And the second one is customized location. So according to the age of the people or according to the gender of the people, the display content, whether it can be customized or not. So that is the second analysis has to happen. The third one is by easily, so in the real time, if you see some, if you go to bank or if you go to college, educational institution, where you can check with the people for some particular query or work. In the same way, on the screen also, the sequence of arrangement of the objects has to be identified properly. It should match with the real time placement of the objects. The next one is large report partitioning. If we have a big report, so how will it be partitioned and displayed on the screen? So that is the next analysis which has to be carried out. And the next one is, if you have an enormous amount of data, large amount of data report which is stored in the system, so whether the summary can be displayed in a crisp manner on the screen or not. So that has to be analyzed. Is there any mechanism available for that or not? That has to be shown. For example, student information system, if you take, the students' data, attendance and their previous semester marks and their present attendance and present semester internal marks will be there. So how to retrieve, if the parents wants to access the data, or if the proctor wants to see that student data, or if the HOD or anybody wants to see the data, how it can be, the summary of the student data, how it can be accessed and shown to the parent or the proctor easily. That has to be the next one. So the next criteria is graphical output scaled. So if the output which is generated by the system, if it is very bigger one, then it has to be scaled down and it should be shown to the user. In the same way, if it is very smaller graphical output, it has to be zoomed in and it has to be shown to the user. Is that that also has to be analyzed. So the next one is color for enhancement. So the attractive color enhancement can be done for showing the output to the user. The next one is like if there are any error happening or any irrelevant operation or click operation or data entered by the user in the interface, how the intimation will happen to the user. So how the warning messages will be displayed in a milder way to the user. So that also has to be analyzed. So these are the different things has to be analyzed for displaying the content. The next one is interface design steps. So what are the information getting captured by the interface on how they are maintaining the system? In the past, what are the different phases carried out for software development? So all those things can be collectively used here. So which are collected, which are the data and information collected in the previous stages can be reused here. So the next one is defining the events for user actions. So if for click event over a button or the object, or a mouse over, when a mouse over is happening over the object, what are the different action have to be carried out? So that has to be defined properly. The next one is depicting the interface state. So whenever the user is performing some click operation or mouse move operation, similar kind of operation if he does, how the interface operation happen, moving from one state to another. So that can be pictorially it can be depicted. The next one is indicating the user interprets. So after performing each and every operation, what is the result has to be shown to the user. So the user will understand that he has done some operation, so some particular operation happen in the system and what is the result generated. So that has to be indicated. So these are the interface design steps. So next we will move on to design issues. The design issues, the first one is response time. So if the user is performing some interface operation, interaction with the system, the response time is very major thing we have to consider. The response time should be quick. So some of the operation can happen in the client side and some of the operations can be performed in the server side and returned back to the user. The next one is help facilities. So when the user is interacting with the system, the help facility can be provided. So it should not it should not be the case that the user will not be getting the help facility at any point of time. It should not be like that. So we should provide the help for the user at the any time when he is accessing over the interface. Even if he is old user or new user, the help facility should be available. We should not simply assume that the user knows everything what he has to work with the system. We should not assume like that. The next one is error handling issue. So if there are any error happen, the system should not completely hanged on. So how to come out of the error, that facility also should be provided. The next one is menu and command labeling. So to facilitate the user to work with the interface easily, the menu driven method can be used, or command driven method can be used. So the next one is any age people, any expertized knowledge people can easily access the interface of the software. In that way, the interface has to be designed. And the final one is internationalization. So when we design a software, it should not be for a particular region of people. So in any country, it can be used. In that way, the interface has to be designed. So in this video, we discussed about the analysis and modeling of the user interface design. Thank you.